Hey everybody, welcome to the Combo Wombo podcast. I am your host, Mr. Gimpy, and as always, I'm joined by the one, the only, Chipped Monk. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? So glad you came by, listening into are we otakus? Is that
I wouldn't say I am. I think at this point, especially today, you are. For sure.
What? Why would I be today on this point?
Like you are at right now because I
just
see
the
your
lonely life.
No, I see your Warhammer models looking a little more stacked than normal. So I'm assuming you're.
No, they're still just chilling back there.
Oh, really? I thought you. It looks like you have more. Maybe it's different lighting or something.
It's just a better angle. I feel.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about putting them down into storage because, like, I used the vent for the window here. And like I can't use that during the winter, so I'm like, what's the point in having all this out right now? You know, they're just kind of collecting dust. So
yeah,
I'm having the great debate of like maybe I could paint one army real quick before winter comes, and I could do that. I have nothing but it. And so I was like, going through the different armies, and it's like Mechanicus, Adeptus, and then I was like, they're kind of hard. There's a lot of little bits on them, and then I was like, well, the Marines are probably the easiest because you just throw primer and Marine blue on them, and you're good to go. So. I don't know. I think to be board legal, they need at least 3 different colors on them. So,
do you play or do you just paint?
So this everything that happened in the world, I was planning to. My one coworker is big into it. He's the one who sold me these armies for basically free. Okay. It was more of like, I want to know you're serious before I give you all these. So I don't know, like $100. So I got like 3 or 4 grand worth of miniatures now just sitting back there.
Damn.
He also hooked me up with like a full-on paint selection for like another 100.
Yeah.
And like it's probably like again another $700-800 worth of paint. So then I invested in like an airbrush booth and stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll get into this. And I painted some miniatures to like start some fantasy characters, and then I don't know. Maybe it's like because the models are so expensive, I'm kind of like scared to like get into them and like mess them up.
So I'm curious, what's the point of having so many different models? Or do they all have different
if
abilities?
I'm not even playing?
I mean, are they set in stone? I've never understood how that worked.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
all have different abilities.
But how do you know? Do they come with like a guidebook and you're like,
yeah. Oh, there's a huge rule book, dude. And then like what most people do is like print out like their armies, and then they just like flip through almost like cards. And I think there's also cards and stuff. The game is super complicated, dude.
Yeah.
It's basically like what's that game? The turn-based strategy with UFOs.
XCOM.
XCOM. It's kind of like XCOM.
Okay.
But,
but real life.
but for reals this time. So
XCOM
you need like
actually has a board game, by the way.
Makes
probably
sense.
complicated as fuck, but it seems cool.
Yeah, I mean, Warhammer is also kind of crazy complicated. There's like dice, and like to get the official dice, which are just 6-sided dice, they're like $40, dude, just for like a bunch of like 6-sided dice, dude. But they're like, we put
Games
that
Workshop, right?
Yeah. They're like, we put that beautiful Games Workshop branding on this, so that'd be like $60 for that. And you're like, what is this even, dude? Yeah, this is like a horse polo, dude. This is like a rich man sport, dude. Like
horse polo. Yeah, that's a great analogy there. True. Meanwhile, people are unboxing Pokemon cards hoping for a rare. They're just blowing up on YouTube and Twitch, and Warhammer just sitting idly by on its mountain of cash.
Yeah, it's like everything maintains its value in Warhammer. Like it's weird, like because it's all like really high, resin quality, good molds, all this stuff. So they have like a huge like standard that they hold themselves to, and like I don't know, like I said, like this army there's still like a couple of grand. Like I basically have a car right there just chilling, and I'm just like a car and like resin and paint, dude.
Can you imagine like the nerd that breaks into someone's house who like doesn't steal anything of like traditional value, right? And they just steal a bunch of Warhammer miniatures. It's like the cops all like, and what do you have to declare for being stolen? 10 grand worth of miniatures. And the cops like, what? It's like not believing at all.
They're like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna need some receipts.
I don't know about that, Chief.
I just had a friend who she was like took her ring to go get appraised for insurance, And I was like, how much is that ring worth? And she's like, enough where I need to go get it appraised for insurance. And I was like,
no shit. Right.
Fair enough.
For sure.
It's like some family heirloom situation. And I was like, man, that's nice, dude. But
I used to, when I worked at a certain financial institution, I had to deal with the personal safes or the lock boxes or whatever. And it always have to like open the cage for them and then have my key plus their key to open it. And this one guy was like, hey, do you want to see what's in here? I was like, dude, I don't care. He's like, no, seriously. I want you to see this because I think you'll appreciate it. This dude pulls out literally, he had 3 safety deposit boxes, right? Opened all 3, and I turned my head. He's like, no, seriously, come look at this, right? And I'm like, okay, what's he gonna show me, right? Fucking pulls out 3 safety deposit boxes full of Magic the Gathering cards.
Nice.
Like all rare, and he had like the guidebook and shit, and he had like legitimately like 20K worth of Magic cards. And I was like, holy shit,
card
dude.
That's worth like 20K, dude.
Yeah, so he worked at a like a specialty game store, and then he managed it, and then he did like back office shit too. So he would just do first pull, right? He's like, I'll take this. So he just amassed a huge ass collection.
I think
so he's
about
like,
that
this is
from
legitimately
time to time, man.
He's like, this is legitimately going to be my retirement. And
Magic also holds its value for some weird reason. Like
even
over
if the
time.
cards aren't in regs, right? They still will hold, because I guess Magic tournaments are always
outperform the stock market. Like if you have like the good rare card, it's like according to like Alpha Investments, he's like a YouTuber, and like he that's how he built like a bit of his money. He like went into like actual trading, and then he was like, my Magic cards are worth more than like the bonds and stuff I'm trying to sell to people. I'm just gonna double down on that.
That's dope. That's actually true. So everyone's like into cryptocurrencies and shit, but if you get into like hobbyist like level collecting and stuff, it's actually pretty ridiculous. Like even people who collect sports cards, they moved on to like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, stuff like that, because
this is not an investment podcast. This is
no,
not
it definitely isn't. It's just one of those.
I think we have to do that disclosure. Like, please consult a financial advisor.
It's just interesting because I mean, I see.
Have you seen like this new scam though? I'm not going to say it's a scam, but my brief run-in with it was like people who want you to invest in their collectible.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like you buy like you buy like shares of like a Charizard card, and then when they go to sell the Charizard card, you get back like whatever money they make. But like you never really get to see it or hold it. Like I don't know. That's kind of like one of the nice things about like getting into like some sort of hobby or collectibles. Like I still have those guys. Like even if like the market bottoms out,
something
like
tangible. Right?
I could still go play Warhammer. Like if the value goes to 0,
right? Now, are there? I'm sure there's digital options to play Warhammer, right? I know like board Game Workshop or whatever on Steam or whatever has like Warhammer stuff.
Yeah, Tabletop Simulator has like a bunch of the armies and stuff. Yeah.
No, it's an interesting hobby, man.
It seems like Games Workshop doesn't really care anymore about making physical product. They're more like just a licensing machine at this point.
So is
Wizards of the Coast, I think they got bought up by Hasbro, or they bought up Hasbro one way or another. I think there's some sort of merger. But I don't want to speak too much out of school. And like they know like all the fans are like kind of aging out of the hobby, so they've been trying to introduce it to the young kids. So they like made like weird comic books that are like kid-friendly comic books, but like Warhammer's like one of the most like bloodiest, like it's basically like
legitimately surprising me Warhammer hasn't been like a popular movie or like traditional media franchise, right? Because its lore and stuff is ridiculous. Like the gaming lore, I like read into it, I'm like, holy shit, there's actually a lot to this, and it's actually super interesting. The Vermintide games are actually what made me more interested in the rest.
There are a few fan-made videos like on YouTube that you can get to. They're like CGI like shorts. And like these all have like millions of views. So I think there's like a fever of people who know about like Warhammer, who want more like good Warhammer content out there. And so I don't know, like there's definitely stuff available for you. Like if like you're a fan or like have a passing interest, like there's guys who give you synopsises of like all the books of like what's available. They're like, oh, let me tell you about like this entire book series, and then they'll break it down for you like chapter to chapter. And so there's good entry points in for like new fans, but the children's books were like a misguided attempt. Like everyone's like, dude, there's no like fun, fluffy stuff in this universe, dude. It's like pretty hardcore. Like and it's kind of like in that like vein of like the 1980s like heavy metal, where like everything's like bombastic and like I think the Marines are like 12 feet tall or something crazy, like with exoskeleton armor.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's one of those things. Eventually I'll get to painting it
for sure.
someday.
For sure. So I mean, the only reason I bring it up is because I was looking at your collection. I'm like, oh yeah, I did set up my 3D printer. I haven't printed anything yet, but I did set it up.
Nice.
So
that's half the battle, man.
Fuck, dude. After setting it up, it was like all the battle. Like I need a break.
Does it have Wi-Fi on it, man?
No, but I mean, just put it on a USB stick and just leave it, so it's not a big deal. And I put it in my storage room, which like I said before in a previous pod, it's it's fine. Has its own spot, so I can just go for however long it needs to. The first thing I'm making probably would be the Mask of the Father from Dark Souls. Because it's on Thingiverse, and it's something to paint that I know what it's supposed to look like and feel confident enough in how it's supposed to look, So we'll look into that. Little update, man. Before we get into the nitty gritty of what today's episode is about, I gotta say, dude, Black Friday is upon us, and I'm not feeling anything in terms of gaming, dude. I mentioned it last week on the pod, saying, "Hey, we'll look at what's coming out, what we recommend, what we're excited for." I'm not excited for anything, dude. Like the game's coming out, I don't give 3 shits about what's coming out this year.
I think like everything kind of drops next year, and then like some of the stuff's been postponed. Like I know like Halo's supposed to be in December, so they're not going to.
That's it for me.
Yeah, same. Like that's the beginning and end of it. Like. I know there's like that new Pokemon game and stuff that they announced at like the Nintendo Directs, and like there's some remakes out there. There's like new entrances in the franchises, but like nothing that would be on sale. Maybe there's some good like day of Cyber Monday deals or something on Steam that you could get like a classic but goodie.
I always spend at least like probably $100-$200 on like the Steam Black Friday / Cyber Monday sales. So we'll see if I pick up anything good that's been on my wish list. I'll definitely say something. But
I stopped doing that because I have like so much in my back catalog that I was like, oh, I gotta play it. And then I went through and started playing it and like beating a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty close to like caught up, and like the stuff that's left in there, like I don't really have interest in playing at this point. I'm like, these never got touched for a reason. Like
I've become Smaug. I just hoard all of my Steam
digital
games,
hoarding,
right? Yeah, dude. It's my backlog went from when I first started like digitally purchasing games. My backlog went from like 7-8 games to at this point. Let's see what I have. Out of the 1,200 plus games I own on Steam, 800. That's just rough estimate. Just looking here, 800 games in the backlog. It's not getting touched. But what's nice though is, are you ever like bored one day and you just like I just will pop Steam Big Picture on, right? And I have like a Steam Link upstairs. So if I'm super bored or whatever, and I'm playing out all the console games and stuff, I just throw on Steam Link, scroll through a list, and go, I don't even know what the fuck this is, and just start playing a game. That's actually how I played Spec Ops: The Line, which was recommended to me by a friend a while back, but I never just got around to it until I would say last year or so. That game was fantastic. One of the best single player stories ever. Honestly, great game. Glad I purchased it for like $3 at one point. One sale. One of the
That's how I like got through most of my back catalog of games. Is like I would put on the big picture mode and I'd be like, look at them all. And just like flick through until I found something. I'm like, all right, let's just play this one. I would grind it out. And, like a lot of the game, like I don't know, I've become like I think the coin that I heard somebody coin was like a content tourist at this point. Or like I just like throw the game on like easy or medium mode or normal, and I'm like, all right, let's just blow through this real quick to get the story. Like I'm not in this for a challenge. Like I don't want to get really skilled at like this 20-year-old game at this point.
I mean, if it was like Tetris or something, like it'd be worth it, because those people you could still have a legitimate career being a Tetris pro. It's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, man.
Like, I mean, it's such a specialized thing. It's like, what do you put in your taxes? Tetris.
Tetris gamer.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's insane. But then there's like Tetris like single player pros, and then there's Tetris like competitive guys that play against each other. So
yeah, there's different modes. There's people like in the speed running for different variations on like the OG NES Tetris, where it's like, oh, run up to like this level, or fastest time to this score, or like there's a lot of different nuance to the Tetris game, man.
There's a ton, dude. So let's get to the topic at hand. And speaking of Black Friday and all that, new releases, the 3 big shooter games coming November, December. We mentioned Halo, which both of us are excited for, and I think throughout the pod and everything else, everyone knows I'm super amped for that game. That is probably going to be like my end-all be-all winter game. But I did purchase a new shooter. The next one coming out at the time of this pod's posting is probably Battlefield 2042. I think it comes out a couple days after we post this. Okay. Hopefully it's good. I'm very excited for Portals, actually. So you can just play 1942 with a new engine, you know, and Bad Company 2, all that shit. That sounds pretty great. If it actually gets pulled off well, that could be like the central hub for all things Battlefield. So you want to play the one you liked, go play the one you liked within the current one, which is cool. So
it's kind of like the Master Chief Collection, though. I feel like
yes,
you know, where it's like you kind of hope that was what Master Chief Collection would be, and then like it didn't quite live up to you know,
even now, even though they made it better, it's still trash. But
yeah,
you know, so I bought Call of Duty Vanguard.
All right. The Sledgehammer release.
Sledgehammer release, yes. So the big joke is, why? Why would you waste your $60? Why would you? Here's the thing.
Dude.
Here's the thing.
Did you steal it?
Nope.
Was there a coupon? Did you get it on sale?
Not at all. Last year,
that thing's gonna be like in the $9.99 bin. This
it already
Black Friday,
was, dude.
bro.
It already was.
Oh,
The Monday after it released, it was on sale for $40. I could have saved, $20 or whatever.
I think you can, depending where you got from, you could get like a price match. You might be able to get like some sort of store credit.
No, I got it on PC straight from Battle.net, dude.
Well.
I wasted my money. But here's the thing. I have come to realize that
you're
at certain points, no,
a sucker for Call of Duty.
At certain points, I want a very specific mindless game.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
And I've taken to not playing sports games much anymore. I used to really like the NBA 2K series, and that became super pay to win in around 2014, 2015 or so, whichever was the last one I bought, where I was like, oh, I actually play this, and I jumped online and people were already like level 99 and a bunch of bullshit. I'm like, this is too much. I don't want to pay $100 on top of the game, the $60 I bought this game for, then I'm just going to do another one next year for the same thing. So I stopped playing those. Call of Duty and Battlefield have become the yearly, sports game releases in the shooter sector. They really have
a product. Like you're going to get a nice 6-hour story.
Yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting. Yeah,
a 4-hour campaign or whatever. Like, you get your zombies modes and you get your online play. Like that's
exactly.
Check.
And here's the thing. I really like shooters in general. I really like competitive shooters, but there's something to be said about playing something casual. And say what you will, I know COD has pro teams and shit, but that is a casual shooter. It really is. It's something about just going in, getting a quick 40 bomb and logging off.
Casual / arcadey shooter.
Yes.
Like it's one of those games like you're saying, like pulling up big screen mode and just picking a game. You can pick up like any Call of Duty and be like, I'm just going to quickly play an online match. And like, what you're getting.
You know what you're getting into I will say it's always fun, right? Like you're never not having fun playing it. Even if you're playing a terrible Call of Duty, you'll have fun shooting and killing people because everything's so fast, and you know what you're getting into since jump.
So it all came out like in 2003. That's when the first Call of Duty came out. What I recall from it is like it was like another World War II game. I was already big into the PCs space. Nobody really played it. Like all my friends would rather play Counter-Strike, Day of Defeat, And then
Medal of Honor, Allied Assault was the game released before by the same team, but
yeah. So like in that same space, you had like Medal of Honor, Battlefield, Enemy Territory, World War II Sniper, Call to Victory, Elite Forces. So it was like a big, gray space where it didn't really stand out. Like all my buddies like who played competitive style games were like, it's Counter-Strike or Day of Defeat for us. Like, and because like on
shout
PC,
out Enemy
like
Territory, by the way, I lost like 3 years of my life to that game.
On PC, like we all bootlegged it and tried it out, like the OG first Call of Duty.
Sure.
And nobody liked it because it had the same problem that the first Halo had, where there was no spread and then there was no kickback to like the guns. So like it was a race to get like the SAW, like the machine gun, and like whoever got that would just dominate the match. And it was like, all right, this game kind of sucks. So I don't know, like it wasn't until like
the first one, the kill cam was new at that point. It was interesting. You couldn't dominate the game with a single sniper because no one could find you because the kill cam would give you away.
Yard. It's a kill cam.
So there's some good stuff. I think this first COD definitely was a stepping stone.
It was notable, like
water, but
like it got into like the circle of like I would say like pretty hardcore gamers at the time. Like we were talking about, we're like, what's this about?
Yep.
Can we play this competitively? It was kind of like the mindset.
Yep.
And for us, it was just like, no, because like it just didn't seem like it was going to stick. Enter Infinity Ward dropping. It was started by Infinity Ward. They dropped that. Then it was a couple of years later, Treyarch developed the third game. So it was 2003, then 2007, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare dropped.
Yep.
And I think that is to the Call of Duty franchise what like Halo 2 is to like the Halo series. Like it was like it hit like the zeitgeist. Like everyone was like,
timing,
perfect timing. Like the new PlayStation had just dropped. It had like local split multiplayer. It ran buttery smooth. Like the maps were just like iconic. The weapons all felt good. They had really dialed in everything, and like that's when I started playing.
Streaks were powerful, but not overwhelming as well in the original Modern Warfare. Yeah,
and like that's when I got really deep into. I got deep into that game. I wouldn't say I'm a Call of Duty fan. I would say like I was a Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare fan. And so like that game got super popular, and then the studios started struggling, Treyarch and Infinity Ward, to keep up with like Activision because they wanted a game every year. Yeah. So 2014, Activision moved to the 3-year dev cycle, and that's when they picked up Sledgehammer Games into it. So that's how you start getting it from like games with kind of a message to like just a game as a product to now they're trying to move to like games as a service almost.
And they took the formidable Raven software as well, and they're playing supporting devs as well to it. Raven, made some of the most iconic games for me growing up. Like for example, we mentioned Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and that I believe Raven helped with that. I had it at the top of the pod, but I can't think of it anymore. But they Soldier of Fortune was the other one. That was their game. Do you remember that game? It was the first shooter with limb damage. You can shoot off someone's hand, shoot off someone's arm, shoot off someone's leg, and stuff like that. That was Raven Software's claim to fame.
I would say they almost brought like that like gritty storytelling that like Call of Duty started aping like in the later franchises. Like when they got to it wasn't Modern Warfare. It would be like I think not Ghost. Yeah, like Black Ops Ghost, where they started like trying to tell like
the Michael Mann style.
And like so a lot of people would say like Ghost, that first, like, is it the first or second one was like the worst Call of Duty game as well.
The first,
and it was like it was like more of like a tech demo. But it had nothing on like Advanced War, which was like slightly after that. That's where they got into like loot boxes finally. Like they started
Future
like
Warfare and all that shit. Yeah.
They're like and then it became even more arcadey and crazier, like the maneuverability, like because of Advanced Warfare, like the close futuristic warfare. The guns stopped feeling like real guns as well. Like they became like pew pew shooters instead of like your classic weaponry that like I don't know that made the franchise, that built the franchise. And I don't know, that's kind of like where you get into like people. I think it's like Halo 4, Halo 5, where they're like, this is just Call of Halo now, where so you start getting like more direct
had
comparison.
no idea what they wanted it to be because Call of Duty started to become the it child instead of Halo being the it child. So they just tried to copy, which is the worst thing. You don't. Yeah. I can see copying to get people to play your game, but when you were the forebearer of everything, fucking innovate instead of copy. Yeah. You know, that's just my own pet peeve.
You can copy my homework, but don't make it too obvious.
Exactly. So, you know, Infinite's done good things with that now, but I think Call of Duty, it's one of those things where it's a yearly sports release, man. Like, if you like, you know what you're getting, and I'll say like for $60, if I play it, I'm definitely going to play it at least 60 hours, $1 an hour, right? Why not? That's some cheap ass entertainment, if you ask me. The single player is dog water, dude. The single player is awful. But for the enjoyment that I'm getting from the multiplayer mode, and I'll probably check out zombies. I'm not a big zombies guy, but it's a nice side story there. And then like the Warzone stuff that they added, like going World War II with that. You know, I'm not big into Warzone, but it's a cool side, adventure or whatever. So yeah. I don't regret it, and I see why people do it, because it's a safe choice, right? You know what parents who don't play video games are going to get their kids for Christmas? What everyone else is talking about, right? It would be Call of Duty,
Madden, or FIFA's, or your basketball game.
It's a safe choice, dude. It really is. I just wanted to say that I had no want in the world for Vanguard, honestly. Like, even when I was out, I didn't play the beta, didn't really care. Looked at it, I was like, this looks kind of trash. One of my buddies goes, hey, I'm getting this game. You want to get it too? And I was like, no. And then it was the day before it released. And he's like, I'm going to jump on, dude. We're going to pop off. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty fun. So I, bought it just like off that. It didn't take much.
The same thing happened to me with the last Call of Duty game I bought was Black Ops 3. And all the boys were like, we're all going to be playing it this weekend. You got to get it. It's going to be amazing. And I was like, oh, Call of Duty. All right. Yeah, I guess I can go back. And so I bought the legendary pack because I was like, I'm going in, man. I want to be blinged out. I want to look at. We played it that weekend and never again, but we played a lot of it. Like
we played it like 30 hours, right?
Yeah, at least minimum 30, like in like a 3-day period where like, I think it was like 3 12-hour days. So it's like around like 36, 40 hours of like Black Ops. And then I was like, everyone got just kind of burnt out on it. And I was like, all right. And I don't know. We really wanted to try out the Battle Royale mode that they added.
When it first came out. That was Black Ops 4 then that you bought.
Okay. Yeah, it was Black Ops 4 that I got. My bad. Yep. They all kind of bleed together.
True.
Yeah, Black Ops 4 where they dropped that. And like, we all want to try Battle Royale. And like, after that weekend, we're just like, yeah, we're good. We won a few matches. It was really buggy. It was a lot of lag, like in the first, because we got like the release weekend. There's a lot of issues, the 60 gig day one patch or whatever. Like, but it was all right. It was like more Call of Duty. I was having fun with it, and like all my buddies were just like, "Oh, this is Call of Duty." I'm like, "Yeah, guys." They're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "What did you think?" Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, that's.
I had the same thing that happened to you with Vanguard, where you're like, yeah, all right, I'll get into this. I guess it's like I got a few people playing it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like, I'm about to prestige pretty quick here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still gonna play it. It's fun. It's like, what else am I playing right now? Nothing really. Yeah. Valorant. But that, I don't always want to jump into a hyper sweaty game. I just sometimes I just want to just blast somebody and go on with my day. Especially like while working, it's the greatest thing to just, hey, I'm gonna hop in, do like 2 or 3 quick matches and just get back to work, right? It's super simple. Yeah, like other people do Hearthstone. That. I've done chess actually, but then chess started. I ranked too high in like the chess thing app that I was using, right? So the matches were tough as fuck, and I'm like, damn it, this is I gotta concentrate. So I was concentrating on that instead of work. I'm like, I gotta switch this up.
Yeah, man. I don't even feel bad for leaving like a Call of Duty match. Like,
no one gives a shit.
I was just like, whatever. I'll just like bounce out of like a death match. Like, it's, I don't know. It's a popcorn. It's a product at this point, and like,
it's a popcorn.
That's
product,
okay.
You're right.
Yeah. It's. I feel like a lot of people have been getting upset about. Like, there's a lot of bad press about like Vanguard right now too. Everyone's like really dunking on it, but I feel like that's every video game reviewer.
Yeah. Yep.
They're like, their biggest complaint is it's like just more Call of Duty. They're like, haven't we seen this before in other Call of Duties? It's like,
sure,
yeah,
have.
dude.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah. You know what? You know what?
It's almost like they're using the same recipe and they're just kind of changing up some of the ingredients. They're like, oh, they're gonna go destroy some sort of monument. They're gonna go try and rescue somebody. It's like, yeah, dude, it's Call of Duty, bro. Like, I don't.
Here's the thing. I still go and see Fast and the Furious movies, right? You know what? I don't think they're going to be good movies, man. I just go because it's ridiculous at this point, and I know what I'm getting, and it's a fun watch, right? That's what
that last Fast and Furious was good, man. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too.
I didn't watch any of the other Fast and Furious since like 3.
Oh, really?
So like going from like 3 to that, I was like, this is amazing. Please make more of these.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Seriously. 4 was the last time they were grounded. 5 is where they just are like, you know what, fuck it. As soon as they added The Rock, they're just like, nope, fuck it. This is this is just a spy action franchise. And yeah. It's you owe it to yourself to see 5, dude. It is the best in the series by far. It's the perfect blend of.
Do I need to watch 4 to understand what's going on?
Here's the thing: if you watch 4 to try and understand, 4 is just when Dom and Brian get back together, right?
Okay,
they're friends again. That's it. You can probably just read a synopsis or just jump right into 5 because you know what I mean.
All right.
Because it pretty much starts right off of 4 anyway. So
would it add to the experience? Not like just kind of going in blind. Do you think?
Actually, I think it adds to the experience if you watch them all like in a row.
Okay, nice.
Say what you will about the quality of these movies, but the stories or like the timeline is actually pretty consistent. Like especially if you watch 3 and then see how they jump around to go make 3 still like the last movie.
I've noticed this more and more. I feel like we're defending things to like a non-existent critic. Because you're like, oh, say what you will about like, are there people who dunk on Fast and Furious? Because like everybody I talk to like enjoys it, dude. Like all the reviews, I don't know, maybe the algorithms just cater to what I like.
Mentioned, hey, have you seen the new Fast and Furious? You're like, those movies are terrible. I'm like, yeah, but have you seen them? And they're like, yes. So it's always that. It's like the thing you don't want to admit to liking, but you like. But I'm here to tell you that I like Fast and the Furious. It's fun. You know, not every movie has to be an Oscar caliber fucking tearjerker. You know, sometimes like you can have fun. What happened to having fun, man? You know what movie was fucking great? Big Trouble in Little China, man. You know how many Oscars that won? 0. You know how many Razzies it was nominated for? 3. Like, come on. You know, I like to have fucking fun. Like, what happened? I feel like it's been
making more and more of a resurgence. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah. You know,
well, and fun. Fun's definitely making a resurgence.
Well, because Hobbs and Shaw was the other one, man. That was an '80s action movie, the spinoff for Fast and the Furious, which you should watch because it's also really fun. It is what it is, man. That's what Call of Duty is, man. Call of Duty is no longer trying to be Game of the Year. It doesn't give a shit. It only cares about your money. Which, as long as they push out something, give me new maps, new weapons, a slightly tweaked experience. As long as it's not broken as shit, if I want that type of gameplay, I know where to go for it. You know?
Yeah. They definitely kind of cornered like the warfare shooter market,
the arcade style of it, right?
Yeah.
Because even Battlefield, like they tried to go more realistic, but they realized that leaning more towards arcade is better for just emergent gameplay, because 2042 is just throwing shit at the wall. They're like, hey, you can ride this tornado and fucking do whatever you want. We don't give a shit. Just like there's some realistic weapons but here, have a grappling hook and fucking fly. Do what you need to do.
Yeah. It feels like Arma kind of picked up the torch of like trying to be more realistic, like hyper realistic almost, like where like they have like really real weapons, and like you have to have like a spotter if you're like a sniper to like call out shots and stuff. And but like even those guys, because I know a few people who play like hardcore Arma too, even those guys will download like the fun mods, dude. They're like, all right, it's Arma 2, but now like the Halo aliens are invading, so now we're like we're like, they come up with like weird scenarios where like, all right, now we're a bunch of like 1970s Marines, and like the Halo Covenant guys have shown up in like an alternate timeline, and we have to defend, like try and
amazing.
Do it. Yeah,
so there's this like weird.
It's fun. Like,
there's this weird push, right, for more realistic games, but those games are like well reviewed, and people will say, yeah, if you want to play something realistic, play this game. That person like suggesting that game to you doesn't play that game. I can almost guarantee it. My first experience with Arma was someone going, because I grew up loving the Rainbow Six series, right? People were like, that's not realistic enough, play this one instead. Like, because I went from Rainbow Six to Ghost Recon to back to Rainbow Six, right? because I wasn't a fan of the Vegas series. I'll go into it in a different pod. It just wasn't what I wanted from Rainbow Six. So I went from like 3 to Vegas, and it was just a little too arcadey for me in a Rainbow Six game. And they're like, "Oh, you don't want arcadey? Try this shit out." When movement is a hassle in a game, I'm not gonna
like
have fun,
every
right?
button on the keyboard does something in Arma, bro. It's ridiculous.
No, it's nothing to be said to shit on Arma, because I'm sure it's a good game for the audience it's catered to, but it's not something I want to play. I come from, Quake, Unreal, rocket jumping, shit like that. That's I put fun over realism. And then there's this subset of games that got really popular, like Escape from Tarkov. Fun game, very fun. I burnt out on it pretty quick because
I didn't like the inventory management in Escape from Tarkov.
Say,
whereas it felt like I was playing like a mini game in between matches.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed the carrot stick of it. Like you go and you try and get like loot, or you try to escape like with loot if and then like you trade that in, you buy like better like kits.
Yeah.
But I just want to like play the game. Like I don't want to manage inventories and like buy stuff. Like I just want to shoot things.
Yep.
And, like I'm a simple man.
Yep. So
I don't know.
Tarkov.
I didn't like the base building in there. Like yeah.
Oh, the base adding thing it's a weirdly implemented thing.
Yeah,
the base,
felt tacked on almost.
Yeah. I was gonna say so like some of these more realistic games like that game, Squad, Hell Let Loose, Beyond the Line, where there are these giant warfare games where you have squad leaders and platoon leaders and shit like that, and you're all fighting for a bigger goal. In theory, that sounded great to me. I tried. I bought. I'm pretty sure it's called Beyond the Line. It might be called Behind the Line, something like that. It's the competitor to Hell Let Loose. I bought that on a buddy's recommendation. He's like, "Dude, play with me. This game's fucking amazing." He described it. It all sounded great. I played it, was bored to tears, and it's not because the game was bad, right? When you have something where hundreds of thousands of people are playing it, you're like, it can't be bad, right? It's just not clicking with me. And I realized that, and he even told me, he goes, "This is not a game where you can just go off for like 40 kills and be like the hero of all time." I like going off for 40 kills and being the hero of the entire server, and and I'm also really against following orders in general. So like the squad leader, it's like the rebel in me or whatever. I don't know, man. The squad leader's like, "Hey, take this fight." I'm like, "Fuck you, buddy. I'm going over here." And I would die. And it's just why, and then there's my Call of Duty updates popping right now. But
they heard us talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. But I realized, right? Like, while I appreciate developers going for realism and everything else, I realized that I don't respond to it. Like, semi-realistic is as far as I'll go. Like, Rainbow Six Siege is probably as realistic as I'm going to get.
For me, where my, flirtation with like realism in games ended was when I was playing Gears of War, and I was watching my buddy play Gears of War for the first time. Okay. Yeah, so I was watching him play for Gears of War for the first time. And he got shot, and like the screen like has like that overlay of like red garbage and like grit all over it. And I was like, "Oh man, this is so unrealistic, dude. Look at all that like garbage over the thing. Like that guy didn't even like shoot you like anywhere." And he's like, "Bro, if this was real, I'd be on the floor crying because I got shot. Like I would be like, keep going." Like, and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. This is a video game." Like, so like ever since that point, I was just like, "It's a game. Have fun with it." Like, I don't want like limb damage and stuff that's like cool. Like it adds to like certain like story type of telling like in your game if that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
But for me, like I just want like the regeneration bars. Like I don't want to be like med kits are dumb. Like you hitting even like med pens or whatever. It's like, all right, this is it's just to have fun, man. Like can we just have fun? Like
I'm okay with the med kits and stuff. I will say like, what's funny is me saying like I don't really care for realism and stuff, but I loved Stalker. I love Stalker to death, and I'm super excited for 2. I'm an enigma, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know
like
what
that game clicked for you, like you said. Like
it did. Yeah.
I would say the more realistic your game goes, like and tries to be, the more niche your audience has to be, and like it's only going to click for like less people. Like whereas like arcadey fun shooter like that's like has a wide audience appeal, which is why like they keep pumping out these Call of Duties every year.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it has like wide mass market appeal, where it's like I just want a fun arcadey shooter, like, and then like you have like your. Oh, go on.
Oh no, I don't mean to interrupt, but you made me think of one thing. I actually thought at one point that Battlefield would be the main shooter for a long time, like over COD as well, especially because COD Modern Warfare came out, right? And after that, they went back to World War II with World at War, right? I can't remember the release cycle, or maybe it was whichever. But they added tanks in that. So Call of Duty flirted with vehicles, but their vehicles were terrible. Halo had vehicles which were really good, and it seemed like, the GTA 4 came out with you can drive around and stuff. I'm like, people are really liking running around in vehicles with their friends and shooting, and I'm like, okay, big vehicle based like giant sandbox, and I'm like, what game does that really well? Fucking Battlefield, dude. Especially with like Bad Company 2. Like that game was amazing, and I thought was like such a good foundation to grow that franchise into being like a mainstay, even if it was published by EA. But somehow they squandered it, dude. Somehow they lost the casual appeal, and
they lost like their lunch to like the World of series, right? Like the World of Tanks, World of Ships, like
you think
World
so?
of Play.
You think it was those?
Yeah,
days?
Dude. I feel like those like
the people more realistic though, and you can't switch. But okay, let's hear your theory.
I don't know. I just feel like the people who would be more into like vehicle based combat, like you inherently have to slow it down and make it like a bit more realistic for it to stay fun. Otherwise, you end up with like Twisted Metal, and like nobody was playing Twisted Metal after like 2.
Fuck you.
Like you got Twisted Metal Black or whatever. Like try to bring it back yet again. I think at one point,
like PS3,
yeah. So it seems like I'm saying, like it's an arcadey fun vehicle thing, but like I feel like that went dumber, unfortunately, so that like it got cannibalized by like your Mario Karts and Crash Bandicoot karts or whatever. Like it became more of like a kart racer thing, where it's like it needed to be like more controlled on a track for it to be arcadey and fun.
Sure.
Where they couldn't figure out something like World of Tanks, where it's like an open map, where you can have like a little bit more time to react to like what the enemy's doing.
Yeah.
Whereas like if everyone was running around with like Mario Kart style physics and power-ups in like a World of Tanks style like battle royale map, like it would just be like chaos and malarkey. Like it would not be fun. Like you're like, I got killed by some random like blue shell from across the map. This is bull.
You know what I think would work really well, actually, and this developer, the main developer, no longer owns the franchise, and I think they're defunct. The Red Faction games with their destructible environments, especially in Red Faction 2, if they wouldn't have gone third person, if they would have stayed first person, kept the destruction, added vehicles, I think that could have been something special, because Battlefield having the destructible stuff is good, but it's very limited. Red Faction, it was pretty much everything under the fucking sun.
I want to say that was THQ that owned them, and yet THQ did go bankrupt.
Yeah. But the main
developer like was under their umbrella.
Yeah. So
it's like how we're still getting the Darksider series,
Darksider and Saints Row. So but I think something like that would have worked, because Halo works with vehicles because of the sandbox and their like limited maps. Battlefield's maps were always so sprawling, but the good Battlefield maps always had points of recognition, and they lost that, because even now with the next Battlefield coming out, it's like big open area with some cities, and I'm like, okay, they're here-ish, you're pinging on the map. There's no real iconic locale. Like Bad Company 2, I thought was like the perfect map sizes, perfect team sizes, and you knew the locales. Battlefield 3 had some cool shit too, where it was bigger, but they still had locales that you could recognize. Now I think with 120 players in one map, it's too much of a giant clusterfuck, and the map design suffers because you have to fit everyone in, but you don't have like these interesting environments to fight in any longer. I hope I'm wrong, but my theory is all of these vehicle like shooters with vehicle focus really just suffered because map design is hard, especially when you bring vehicles in and stuff. You have to accommodate for so much.
Maybe you remember this, the name of the game. There was a tank game on the Nintendo 64 where you like battled other tanks in a city.
Battlezone 64.
Battlezone, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bring back Battlezone 64, dude. Whoever owns that, that game was
Atari, I
amazing.
think.
Like it had like
Which
heat-seeking
Midway or something?
missiles.
Yeah.
What?
I think it might be, I think Atari, then Midway or something like that. I'm trying to think. Anyway, yeah, I know what you're talking about. So
that game was awesome. Like it seemed, but that was also slower based combat as well. Like, but it's like slower city based, like tank combat. But like every tank had different abilities and power ups. And my favorite was the one with the heat seeking missile that like put you in like first person mode of a missile. And like,
there's a lot. There's a lot to say. And vehicles are fun, man. Like I thought, it's like the one thing, and I'm gonna get crucified for this, but I'm gonna say it. Fuck it.
Only the most hardcore are still listening up to this point, bro.
True. Grand Theft Auto's multiplayer sucks horrible ass because the shooting sucks, the vehicle driving is okay, and the heists are overrated.
Yeah.
Grand Theft
it's
Auto
plagued
could
by
be the
hackers
best.
and like a broken economy. There's a lot of issues with it.
Grand Theft Auto could be the best like sandbox shooter of all time if Rockstar knew how to make the gunfights fun. Shooting people in Grand Theft Auto is never fun. There's nothing fun about it. Driving the vehicles is fun, evading the cops is fun, but the actual gunplay sucks horrible ass. If they could figure it out, and it's not gonna be Rockstar either, because the same gunplay problems plague Red Dead Redemption. They plague every game with guns that Rockstar makes. Sans Max Payne 3, but that's a special case. That's like an exception rather than the rule. If some developer comes along and they manage to make fun gunplay along with like Rockstar's level of polished in terms of vehicle control and stuff, because I think like the helicopters and stuff and the planes, they're so arcadey controlled that it adds to the fun, but shooting people sucks balls in that game. It feels so bad. That's the key. That's the missing sauce, dude. Someone's gonna get pissed at Rockstar, right? That was a big player in how the physics and handling worked in the vehicle department. Someone's gonna get pissed. They're gonna leave. Someone in a studio that does good feeling shooter mechanics is going to get pissed. They're going to leave, or they're going to feel hampered. So someone from like, let's say,
Ravensoft.
No, people from Ravensoft don't seem to have the drive to make their own company.
They're locked in the basement of Activision.
Okay, let's say someone from Respawn, right? Because they've already done it once. They've done it twice. They left EA from Medal of Honor to Infinity Ward. They left Infinity Ward to make Respawn, to make Titanfall, right? Their gunplay always, I feel, feels really good. Someone's going to get pissed at Respawn because they don't want to kick out another Apex Legends. They want to work on something else, right? They want to leave EA. They left EA to go to Activision, to go to EA again. Like they want to just do something on their own. They're going to leave, have their good gunplay knowledge. That person from Rockstar who left, who doesn't want to work on GTA 6 for the next 12 years of their lives. They don't want to work on Red Dead Redemption 3 for the next 14 years of their lives, right? They want to just make something now and make something fun. They have this energy, this knowledge of what makes that particular kind of combat fun. They're going to Reese's piece their way together, and they're going to make the best damn game we've ever seen in terms of multiplayer combat. But no one's going to play it because the marketing's going to suck ass.
I want to say that game was H1Z1, bro. Before like I feel like that popularized the battle royale genre. Like they had great combat, great feeling, good vehicles. It was just plagued by jankiness, and like everyone was just like, fix your game, and they just never did. They like sold out literally to another company, and as soon as they did, my buddy was like, we're like, oh, they'll fix it, they'll make more servers, they're gonna fix this. And I had to take a knee, boys. Networking solutions aren't something you can just like fix by buying more of. Like you actually have to go like make physical servers. Yeah. I was like, at the time it was like League of Legends, where they spent like $4.2 billion or something crazy to build servers across North America, because League of Legends had the exact same problem early on, like season 2 and 3. Like you'd constantly get disconnected, and they're like, oh, we've heard you, we're building out servers. So they like literally blitzkrieged and like started building a bunch of servers, and now they have like a way better infrastructure than what they did, but it's not like a turnkey solution, man. Like I know like Amazon, solutions tries to be now. Yeah, but they're not there yet either.
It's good actually. Like for the most part, right? They've had 6 outages in the last 4 years, affecting like good chunks of the world slash our country, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like when it goes out, it fucks like it fucks
Everything.
everything up, right?
You don't
But
know how much is on Amazon Cloud till it goes out.
but it works so well that you know those 6 times I know because it works so well otherwise.
Yeah.
So I think we're on to something. I think Microsoft's new Azure platform and Sega jumping into the game as well for that. I think we're going to be in it's going to be an online renaissance in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm betting on.
Oh, for sure, man. Like, especially with like everybody working from home and stuff now, like
Yes.
there's only more demand for like the rollout of these services to like get like a stronger back infrastructure. And like North America's definitely been notoriously late to the game when it comes to like fiber internet and like high speed internet. Just because like we're so dispersed. Like some city
We
centers have
are,
gotten
but the
it.
like monopolies hurt it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the government ran monopolies. Like it's the same reason why we don't have like cheap energy either. Like, it's the solutions out there, but like I guess I could put this into the universe. Like my solution, like, did you know 50% of your power is wasted on the power line going to your house? It's just always running.
Yeah.
So my quick solution to that is just like build battery banks where you store the energy and then you stop running the power to people's houses where they're not using power, and you can just like charge it up. And like these battery banks already exist. Like Elon Musk like released like a patent-free battery bank. It's like about the size of a car, but like it runs like a week worth of electricity on there. But you double the power supply overnight just by having a smart energy grid instead of like this dumb energy grid that's left over from like the railroad system.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to do that because of the monopolies.
Are hard as fuck. Or they're hard as fuck. They're monopolized. They're such an institution. Yeah, it's a great idea, and it takes individual consumers to do it because you can do that yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Like people, I've seen people build like what are called Tesla houses where they place the entire fucking roof on their house with like solar panels and shit, and but they still get power, but they just turn their shit off at the breaker box and just use the, batteries for a while. So. Yeah,
so everyone talks a big game until it comes to their own pocketbook.
Exactly. It takes users to do that. But we're near the end of the podcast, and I just wanted to take this episode to talk about Call of Duty, saying that yes, it's a similar game each year, but there is a place for it. Why do we see a new, like I use Fast and Furious as an example, but like big budget popcorn dumb action movies every summer. Why do we all go to see those? Because they're fun. I just wanted to highlight that there's no shame in liking the new Call of Duty, the new Battlefield, the new, spur of the month game that came out. If you're having fun, that is what gaming's all about. You don't need to look at your neighbor and say, oh, they're trash because they're playing, Black Ops, or Warzone or whatever. Who gives a shit? Are they having fun playing a game in the best, medium that we have?
Are they living their best life?
Right. I think to each their own, man. I think there's fun to be had in even like the franchises that are shit on the most. Like I don't like the Destiny franchise, but I realize people have fun with it.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about it, man.
I would also say that it could be like a lover scorn situation too, where it's like the games didn't change, you changed, you grew up.
True.
A lot of these games, like we said, are like super fun when you're playing with your friends and stuff. And like, let's be real, like as you get older, there's like less free time for everybody to just like veg out and play like a nice Call of Duty for like 6-7 hours a day.
Yeah, and that's why it works, man. People who like my coworkers are older than me, right? But probably let's say it's 5 to 10 years older than me. So they're in their 40s, they're 40s, near 40s, and some of them are closer to 50 than 40. But you know what they all do? They cut loose, they crack open a beer, they all play Call of Duty. Like because they know what it is. They don't have to learn anything. They don't have to learn new systems. They don't have to learn new weapons. They point and shoot, and it's a good time, and it's a good team bonding exercise for us too. It's something that's it's there for everyone, and stuff like that always has to exist. If it doesn't, and I think we should be happy that something like this exists because gaming is still the newest form of media at this point.
Yep.
And we like movies, radio has pop music. That's something that pretty much everyone can enjoy on some level. Movies have like the summer blockbusters that everyone can enjoy on some level.
Yeah.
And games have what are now, the fall blockbusters, the Call of Duties, the games that you can enjoy on some level because you know exactly what you're getting into. So, each thing has its point. It's just another part of gaming becoming mainstream instead of a niche market.
Yeah, and it's a broad audience appeal.
Yeah, dude. So, truthfully, I'm proud of it, dude. It's letting.
There's still going to be your high art pieces and like everything. It's like nobody's taking away your armas, or like your, your more system level, high level thinking man's game. Your XComs.
Yep.
Nobody's going to come in and make you delete them off your hard drive. So
exactly,
you'll still have. There's something for everybody.
Very true. Very true. So let me just end with the last few minutes that we have, asking you, and I think I already know the answer, but your favorite Call of Duty or Battlefield, or if you want to answer both, sure, and what you'd like to see from either series in the future.
I mean, it's going to be the one that brought me to the dance, and that's going to be a Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And then for Battlefield, I would still stay with Battlefield Vietnam because of the helicopters. I was like, when I got into them, running around with helicopters and that. Yeah. I know they had them in some of the other games too, but those are the ones that kind of hit me with like had the most fun with my friends, had the most hours in, and like enjoyed a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like for the series, I think they're just going to do what they're going to do. Like I understand what it is, and like we kind of touched on, like it'll still be there if I ever want to like pick up more Call of Duty. I'm not above it. I think the Vanguard might not do that well. Like, I don't know. It might get back down to like a 1 or 2 studio situation. And like, hopefully that frees up these studios to like try something bigger and different or, do something out of left field. And like, I've kind of touched on a couple of times before is like big companies don't like to take big gambles with a lot of money. So it's like, all right, as soon as like they lose a ton of money on one of these Call of Duties, they're going to take that studio, maybe place like smaller bets. Unfortunately, it'll probably be like, Call of Duty more mobile game or something.
They already did though.
I know they have a few.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Black Ops game, or was it Black Ops 4 that didn't have a single player, right? So they're like, oh, we fucked up because while the game sold, it didn't meet the usual standards. So single players came back. It's there's ways to express yourself within even big fucking monopoly giant corporate systems. So yeah, dude. Yeah. Interesting. I think my favorites, and I think I've said it a few times now, but for Battlefield, Bad Company 2, without a doubt. One of the funnest gaming moments I've had, and it was right around the time where my life started changing too, of having less time, worrying more about adult things. And Bad Company 2 was just that perfect time where I got home from work. I jumped on, buddies would be on. We'd jump in a giant server together, just throwing C4 on trucks, driving in and using it as a giant bomb, like stuff like that, or taking down a building with it. Such a good time.
Just good, clean fun.
And my favorite Call of Duty, actually the original Black Ops. I loved Modern Warfare as well, but the original Black Ops, despite the server issues that it had, it adding the dolphin dive where you just like jump in the air and you could lie prone, so you'd like literally dolphin your way through the map, was a very fun movement mechanic, if albeit a bit silly. And I'm a big capture the flag guy, and as far as Call of Duty's implementation of capture the flag, I thought Black Ops had the absolute best version of it. So a lot of good memories there. The kill streaks weren't over the top either. So, I had a good time with it. So that being said, let's see, guys.
We hope you had a good time.
Yeah, we hope you guys had a good time listening to it. I hope we shed some light on saying that, it's okay to like games that are popular. I think in the gaming space in general, people shit on what's popular because it's cool. It's the cool thing to do. And I'm asking, who are you trying to impress? It's just you and the monitor, man. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I had fun in Call of Duty, and you're ashamed, something's wrong with you, man. Just reevaluate. You're having fun. And having fun is the main goal of the whole thing. So
just have fun.
That being said, just have fun, guys. So sound off in the comments. What was your favorite Call of Duty or Battlefield? And what would you like them to do in the future? Chip, anything to add before we end off?
That's it, man.
All right, boys.
Take it easy. It's a week.
Yes, sir. That's our week. I'm Mr.
Like,
Gippy.
subscribe.
Chipmunk. All right, guys, take care. Get 20,000 of your friends, force their hand, and make them sub. Take care, boys.
There you go.
We out.